The trend is begging you. What does Scooby-Doo? Na 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 na, na 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 na, na 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 na.
Like Zoink, Scoop, where are you? Run away! Oh shit! I'm on the air. Oh, you sneaky sleuths! You caught me again doing some important Scooby-Doo research. You know me, NC Jr., who remembers a boot it because he needs reassurance. He's not the only one, eh? You know, me. There's nothing going on here. What are you talking about? I got my hat. I got my luscious hair. Everything. Anyway, today we're going to be doing something quite fun for Scooby Month, and that is looking at the long-running annual tradition of having a Scooby-Doo movie released every year. I think they have around 25, maybe 30 movies at this point. They have a lot of Scooby-Doo movies. I don't even have all of them, but you might say that releasing the same property movie every year might get a bit stale and it might run a bit dry. Well, I'm pretty sure Marvel and Disney would disagree with you, and you know what's kind of funny? It's usually Warner Brothers who are usually stealing the ideas and business ideas from Disney and Marvel, but looks like it's the other way around here. Where am I even going with this? I think I just have some sort of problem where I can't stop making fun of the DCEU. That thing is just a fucking disarray train wreck. It's actually kind of hilarious. Anything. Scooby-Doo movies. Some are great. Some are not so great. Some are thrilling and have a pretty mature tone for the property. Some are very classic with the whole whodunit mystery element, with loads of twists and turns, and things you had not seen coming. Some are just classic Scooby-Doo ones that have retained the identity from the old shows, or are from the old shows, and have just been carried over to movies, and all this kind of stuff. And it's really amazing how many movies they've been able to make that are so different from era to era. And, you know, sometimes you got things like WrestleMania. You know, WrestleMania.
That was amazing!
Seen amazing.
WrestleMania. I swear to God, I did not put that sound effect in there. Alright, that music is part of the movie. Anyway, to celebrate the best of the best cartoon dog around.
Fix that draft. It feels like someone is breathing down my neck.
What? No, not you. Get the hell out of here. Oh, although they did do a Scooby-Doo parody thing once before. Fuck it. Get out of here. No. Oh my God. This is off to a great start. Let's look at how Scooby-Doo went Hollywood. This is the top 9 best Scooby-Doo movies of all time. You'll get the pun in a second.
Hey, I can look at myself naked.
Oh, brother.
He's a great kidder, CJ. Can we try that again, Scooby?
Ready to roll.
Is all this really necessary?
You love it. Let me just get the lights. Okay, Scoob.
Number 9. Scooby-Doo Camp Scare. Now I'm going to say this up front. This is the only Mystery Incorporated animated era movie on this list. So that means your Abracadabra-Doo, your Legend of the Phanosaur, and of course your WrestleMania and WrestleMania 2 Double Action Boogaloo. I don't hate these ones. There's some actually good ones, but they're either trying way too hard to invent or reinvent the brand like Mystery Incorporated, or, just not caring, going all the way from right to left field with crazy shit. And I like crazy shit, but I also like to solve a real mystery. I think because Camp Scare was the second one made from this new batch. That's why it's the best. I was gonna give the spot to Scooby-Doo Abracadabra-Doo, but I was told by a few people that this one was the best. I mean, I was also promised that there was going to be actual murder and killings in this one. You know, a more edgy Scooby-Doo movie, but I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe I'm just a sadomasochist. But the movie, despite that, is actually really good. The characters, the humor, and the mystery, and the monsters are very well thought out and very well written. And I was taken aback by that. But not as fucking much taken aback I was by the voice cast. Man, oh man. I thought I knew all of them, but, you know, I couldn't place them. And then when I saw the end credits, I was like, absolutely holy shit. This movie is stacked with talent. Besides our regular cast of the gang, besides the sub of Casey from Matthew Lizard, you had Scott Menville as Luke, you had Mark Hamill as Deacon / Babyface, you had D. Bradley Baker as Ranger, and you had Phil Lamar as Darrell. Darrell? It says Daryl. I guess you're dyslexic. One of the new characters who I liked was a moody, purple-haired teen girl. And guess, just fucking guess who played her. I'll give you 1 second. There, it's over. You already guessed it. You already know who it is. Yeah, Tara Strong. Tara Strong is fucking acting and voicing a moody, purple-haired girl. Tara Strong as Trudy. I feel like she is the female Seth Rogen of playing the same character over and over and over again. Anyway, great cast, great mystery with a great twist and great humor, and really, really, really good song. Can't forget that in a Scooby movie. On to the next. Number 8. Scooby-Doo, Where's My Mummy? Now, everyone I've talked to has ragged on this movie, and personally, I don't get why. Where's My Mummy is a really clever Scooby flick. First of all, it takes place in Egypt with mummies and curses, and I love that shit. And this one is in the era of What's New Scooby-Doo. And I'm also going to be upfront about this, there are a lot of these ones on this list. What can I say? They're the best ones out of the batch. Where's My Mummy has some of the best animation and set design in a Scooby movie, and the vast deserts and tombs and towns are really beautiful. And the best part, which is going to be the driving force of a lot of these choices, is the mystery. Because, let's face it, it's a Scooby-Doo property. Yes, Scooby-Doo is a comedic character, but at the heart of the show and the premise is the mystery element, the whodunit. So that's a long way of saying this mystery is really great. With the person it being someone you never thought would do something like this, but then you realize they're probably the most idealistic to do a caper because they know all about how it works in that world. Besides the monster, there's also 2 other villains that are some of the best ones I've seen in a Scooby-Doo thing. One of them played by Payday 2 DLC Ron Perlman, who is amazing. I'm keeping it vague enough so that you lot can go see it for yourself if you haven't, and try and solve the mystery along with them. Also, great cast with Casey Kasem instead of Matthew Lizard. No hate to the guy, he does a great job as Shaggy, but, you know, sometimes you just can't beat the original. So go watch this movie. It's anything but the coarse, rough, and irritating sand that you're surrounded by while watching it. That was a good one. Good one, Junior. Good one. Number 7. Scooby-Doo and the Samurai Sword. Same thing. A lot of people don't like this movie, and I have no idea why. It's actually really good. The setting in Japan is real great. I mean, everybody seems to be doing it nowadays.
From the look of it, this is ancient Japan.
And this was the last one of the new Scooby-Doo era movies, and was followed by Scooby-Doo and the Mystery Begins. Oh god, I guess there's also that contrast and, you know, situational element that puts it higher on the list. But also there are some great character moments like Daphne and her fighting, and the ending scene where Shaggy and Scooby get to be real heroes. It's really nice, and it kind of reminds me of the finale of Kung Fu Panda 3. You know how it was really silly humor but really serious tone and weight? Also, it has one of the best scenes ever, which I totally played 1,000,000 times in my What's New rant, but this time you can actually hear it, so woohoo!
Jeepers! Jinkies!
Dang, I still don't have a catchphrase.
This was also the last time we get to hear Casey Kasem as Shaggy Rogers before he retired and 5 years later died. He will be missed. I'm trying to play with your emotions here to show you why this movie is on this list. But yeah, great set pieces and animation. The fight scenes are really well made for a Scooby-Doo, and the mystery is one that me along with the characters didn't see coming, and it was a very good twist. So I say, get this movie, slice it open, and enjoy the final ride of that era of Scooby-Doo movies. Number 6. Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School. Wow, what is this? A non-WN era movie? Yeah, this would probably be my most scratched up to shit disc because I just played it over and over and over again as a kid because I absolutely adored this movie. It was and still is a great watch. Now watch out, there is no real mystery solving element here unless you make the point that they don't really know about Revolta and her plans and they're trying to solve that, but this is a very nice little story, and probably one of the only good things to come out of the Scrappy-Doo era. He actually is not annoying in this. He isn't funny really, but he's just a basic character, and that really isn't important to the whole thing. The important thing is the world building and the monster side of this movie, which really sells it. The Academy boys and the Colonel's interactions with the monsters is always great, and the girl monsters are really likable, and you want to see them succeed, and their parents are the classic monsters, you know, it's all pretty dope. It's actually a better version of the Hotel Transylvania spin-off show thing, or whatever that is being cashed in for Sony right now. Sorry, off track again. Also, keeping in themes with some great and unexpected casting, guess who fucking plays the leader of the Academy of the Kids? Tug is played by Scott Menville. I'm not kidding. That's absolutely ridiculous. He's everywhere in Scooby-Doo for some reason. If you want to see the 80s Scooby-Doo at its best, then I highly suggest you catch this movie in your web. You know, because, like, Witch of the Web, Revolta... Never mind. Number 5. Scooby-Doo and the Legend of the Vampire, and Scooby-Doo and the Monster of Mexico. I'm putting these two together because, well, I mean, they're kind of a package deal. They're very similar as both are transitioning from the old Scooby-Doo to the new Scooby-Doo. They have the classic background synth music from the 69 to the 80s version, and as last time we have veteran Daphne voice actor Heather North, rest in peace, who played Daphne forever before being taken over by Grey Delisle in What's New, and her other incarnations. I just had to take the time to say that I fucked up. I forgot to say who played who in some of the characters for the What's New Scooby-Doo rant, because I just thought everyone knew who played what. But that wasn't a very well thought out thing for a professional critic such as myself. So, sorry about that. So, I'm just here to put a few things to rest. So, in What's New, Valde is played by one of my favorite voices for her, and that's by Mindy Kahn. And Daphne is played by Greg Delisle. Both great, talented people that I'm totally upset that I didn't mention in that review, but here we are now, put them in here. So, sorry about that. I mean, it's fine. Who's counting my fuck-ups anyway? Anyway, these movies have some great animation, and the voice cast are all great. And what puts Vampire a little bit higher on the chart for me is the fact that it's a goddamn Hex Girl show up. And they play a role, and, you know, whenever they're on screen, it's always a great time. But then the Monster of Mexico gets a little bit higher because the music is absolutely fantastic. And some of the sequences, especially this one at the museum, are amazing to watch. And both misters are really well put together. The one for Monster in Mexico is a little bit more brain-scratching, but both are very well written and well thought out, which makes them always fun to watch to solve along with the game. Also, Australia and Mexico are both beautiful settings, because location is always an added plus. Plus, I never get tired of hearing Velma sing the theme song at the end of Legend of the Vampire, so you know what? Play us on to the next one, meddling kids. Number 4. Scooby-Doo Pirates Ahoy. go, another What's New era movie. And this time, it's pirates. Everybody loves pirates. I fucking love pirates. Best concept ever, especially ghost pirates. The movie has a great premise with Fred's parents taking him and the gang on a mystery-solving themed cruise. And of course, they're masters at it and go through the entire week's worth of mysteries in 2 days. And we get to see the scene of just how smart they are. It's actually really cool.
You guys are so smart. Where's my missing watch?
Let's see. You were probably excited about the cruise and unpacked in a hurry.
I bet it fell out of your suitcase.
It's probably...
Under your bed.
Honey, you'll never believe where I found your watch.
under your bed.
And the mystery is in the same vein as the newer, more complex and out there mysteries, and they have a really cool ending to it. Of course, the voice cast is on point, and it's impeccable as ever, with the returning favorite. Damn, hold on, it's him again. He was off on cartoons during this time. Our favorite orange and black gear fetish villain, Ronnie Boy. He plays one of the villains to this high seas adventure alongside some killer action scenes accompanied by some second-level best music in the lineup of Scooby-Doo movies. The next three we're going to be going on to are the top-level music, so you know this one's pretty high on the list. Pirates Ahoy, a great high seas mystery and swashbuckling movie, and it will deserve its spot at the number 4. And it is well deserved at its spot at number 4. But now we get on to the big boys, the bronze, silver, and gold. Really the only thing people care about in these lists. On to that ones. Number 3. Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. No, you didn't mishear me. I didn't fuck up in the editing bay. I didn't fuck up on the writing. I mean, I've probably done that somewhere else during this video, but not here. This is the most important part, and I wasn't held against my will. Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island is our third stop on the Scooby-Doo lists. Now just remember, this movie got top 3 on a top 9 list out of 40 fucking Scooby-Doo movies so far. Jesus, that's a lot. So that's a really big achievement for this. Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island is a masterpiece in its own right, and it's obvious to see why most people put them at the top of their list for Scooby-Doo movies. But I feel it's just been a little bit overrated and a little bit over-exaggerated, and I mean, who wants to see a list where Zombie Island is at number 1? I mean, it's amazing because also in its own right, because it started the Scooby-Doo Renaissance and got us to having, Scooby-Doo movies every year, and it really has some great scares, like some real scares, and a great mystery, and actually has a supernatural element, what makes it stand out so much. This is a top level for music, as Terror Time and Ghost is a Fake are some of the best songs in any Scooby-Doo thing ever, and maybe in general. They are an upbeat and fit the mood to a T, and they're catchy as hell. You think someone engineered them to be that way. They just stick in your head. The more detail-oriented animation is the closest thing we ever really need to get to live action, and it works, just by conveying a very mature tone. Because at this point, any kids who had grown up with Scooby-Doo in '69 were now probably working on this movie. This is one I can put on at any time and enjoy it as much as I have the first 100 times. It is amazing, and I love it. But there are 2 other movies I love even more than this one, for each different reasons. I mean, they share some of the same category reasons, but still the same different reason things. Anyway, I think I've stalled enough, so let's shuffle it over like a zombie to the next number. It is amazing, and I absolutely love it. But there's 2 movies that I love even more than this one, for each 2 different reasons. I mean, they're kind of the same category reasons, but they're still different. I think I've stalled long enough. Let us shuffle like a zombie to the next number. Number 2. Scooby-Doo and the Loch Ness Monster. Scooby-Doo and the Loch Ness Monster is just great. I can't exactly put it into words. It has great humor, great atmosphere, a great setting in Scotland, a great mystery, a great cast, and a great What's New animation, and great music. The songs Brothers Forever, Brown Dog, and Come and Get It are the best songs from any Scooby-Doo thing, on par, and sometimes even higher than the songs from Zombie Island and her #1 pick. This movie also gives us some of my favorite voice actors again, and some of my favorite recurring characters. One of them being Del Chillman. That name, man, it's great. Some of the returning favorites are Phil Lamar, but we also get veteran John DiMaggio in this movie. It's absolutely amazing. This movie is a ride and a roll from start to finish, and it more than deserves this #2 spot. And in fact, I was actually going to give it the #1 spot achievement. But one movie stood out to me that should be praised for all it's done for the Scooby-Doo fanbase and the Scooby-Doo universe. The Scooby-verse, I guess. Well, I guess you're all just waiting to see what dastardly movie would dare take the place of Zombie Island at #1. Well, here it is. And the #1 all-time Scooby-Doo movie is Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost. This movie is truly a gem, overshadowed by the previous movie that it had because of what that movie did. But this movie has also done a lot. In fact, sometimes even a little bit more than Zombie Island. And to prove it, I'm going to give it its very own review. That's right, next week is Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost review. To help me out with this is our very special guest from the member of the Critic Titans. Who is it? Well, you're going to have to wait to see it next week. Come on, be patient. Kind of have some surprises. I mean, I just spoiled every movie on this list, so trying to have some surprises, you know what I mean? This movie is a real gem, and to prove that, I'm going to give it its very own review. That's right, next week is Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost review. And to help me out with this, a special guest from the Critic Titans. Who is it? Well, you're gonna have to wait to see next week. I mean, gotta give some surprises. And you'll see my full reasoning why Witch's Ghost is the #1 Scooby-Doo movie of all time. Promises that this is the truth and I'm not being held against my will. Just don't think that. I don't think Zombie Island is at #1, alright? Calm down. So that is my top 9 best Scooby-Doo movies of all time. Now, seeing as how they're releasing a new Scooby-Doo movie every year for the foreseeable future, this list will probably be outdated in like a few years when they make a new cult classic Scooby-Doo movie for the ages and make it an absolutely amazing 10 out of 10. And, I mean, we have yet to see that. But I, personally, have some ideas on how they could make the ultimate Scooby-Doo movie, which I might, surprise you guys with in a future video and share with you. I mean, maybe around the same time as those Mystery Incorporated Be School and Get a Clue reviews that are going to be sometime in the future. Soon, don't worry, will be coming. And if you guys were upset that there wasn't that many of the newer Scooby-Doo movies from the Mystery Incorporated animation era, I'm probably going to put together a list sometime of the best out of those bunch or the worst out of those bunch. Don't you fall. And, I mean, I don't like them, but a lot of people do like them, so I'll give them a chance, I'll give them a shot. But, we'll see you guys in the next week with a review of Witch's Ghost. With me, me and my luscious locks and my luscious hair and all this kind of stuff. With Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost. I'm repeating myself because I'm trying to stall, but... Junior, do!